Sorry. So differential fluid were there to the level, so I did not refill. So that's all. That's all for this video, guys. I'm going to show you. It should start right away. I did check before this video, so I want to make sure when I do it, it starts. Hydraulic just to see hydraulic works or not. This lever is for draft control. It goes all the way down. So guys, I just shut off the, or turn off the ignition switch. I install a toggle switch, if you see, right under the dashboard side. One thing I have, or the problem I am facing right now, that's the only problem left, is basically when I turn off the switch, it should kill the engine. However, it does not kill the switch, kill the engine. When I turn off the switch, it keeps it running. The way I now shut off the engine is to drop the throttle completely zero and turn off the toggle the switch off. That's the time it takes few seconds to turn off the engine. So either looks like somehow it is still getting electricity to power the coil and ignition, which I'm not sure why, but that's what's happening. So I need to figure out what is wrong. However, everything else is good. What the two things I'm going to install, or one thing I'm going to install, electrical component, is the old lights, front light on the hood, and I have two LED 12-volt LED lights which I'm planning to install on the back of the rear side of the tractor. That's the plan. Other than that, this project is complete. As you know, my first attempt was failed a month and a half ago, when everything after rebuilding the engine tractor, I saw engine oil leak from the rear main, and I know why it leaked, because I put the two double seals in the rear main. One was wrong, but one supposed to be not there. It was a drain opening, not the seal opening. So anyway, lesson learned. Even I knew it, but I wasn't sure and didn't have confidence to. So I thought like it's easy to do that and leave it alone. If it leaks, then I'll do it, and that's how I learned I have to do it. Other than that, this is ready. Only thing is I'm going to put the front end or the sheet metal or the hood on top of it and diagnose why it does not shut off the engine, and that is it. If you know the reason and everything why engine is not shutting off, let me know, or I can reconfirm my wiring. I'm using a website this website, and the gentleman name is K. LaRue, free of charge, and he drew these diagrams for the wiring diagrams for all his tractors he owned, and it looks like he's in the similar situation. He never thought he's gonna have tractor, and he ended up with tractor and so many different model of these 4 tractors. So I just want to give him credit to do this excellent work. I'm following this diagram for 640 tractor. However, it says 601, 801, 901. I'm not sure what it is, but it matches all the other criteria like 12-volt, 1-wire alternator. So everything is good. The change, if you remember, the change in electrical component I did was putting a electronic ignition kit in this. Other than that, everything is original. Also, before I forget, if you see this inlet or outlet or the connection for the fuel tank, it is there. If you notice, if everyone notice, this is not, I'm sitting on the right side of the tractor, and shut off valve is on the right side, not on the left side. It was originally on the left side, but what I did is basically yesterday when I was trying to install the fuel tank, was very excited and wanted to finish the tractor earlier a day. I messed up the thread of the fuel line connecting to this tank for using this the port. So steel, the fuel line was a steel, and this piece of the of whatever component you call, this is fuel tap. Okay, they call it fuel tap. So I messed up the thread, and that fuel tap right now I currently install is the original one made in USA, and first 1 or 2 threads were messed up. So what I did, I removed the old steel fuel line and I put it back the rubber hose style. And what I did is also in this situation, since I can actually reverse the side of the inlet or tank inlet, I move it from this side so I have more access. However, originally you have to go through this sheet metal, and it has a small access, and you need a long screwdriver to reach it. So I put it this way on this side with the rubber hose fuel line attached to the carburetor. Carburetor was already serviced completely. So if you see, everything is good. I see it's moist, so maybe somewhere it's leaking from the gasket or something, so I need to look at it. But anyway, it looks good, it works fine. I have a homework to do, is to figure out how this governor works and how much the tension of the spring it's supposed to be here and how much friction you need. So I think I'm gonna lose it. So I want to make sure my throttle handle works smoothly, and it should not make a big jump, and should not require a lot of power, muscle power to move back and forth to give gas or remove gas. So I want to make it like feather light, but not freely moving while driving on a rough surface. So that's my thing is, but I do need to understand how this governor works, and there are some stops, throttle stops, something. So maybe some clips are missing, something which I did not have it before. So I will figure out look at from different pictures online and see what I can do. But everything is good, looking good. Now my hydraulics works. That was my biggest concern, because I did remove a lot of hydraulics. So one thing is I want to mention is I did not prime the hydraulic pump. Since disassembly, what I did is I made sure all the oils are to the level it needs, especially hydraulic. And before I thought like I can go easy route just to see, fill the oil and start the engine and test my hydraulics 3-point hitch. So it did work. I did not have to prime it. What I did is, before installing it, I fill it with regular oil, engine oil, a little bit, just prevent it's not dry, and then I actually simply fill it. Everything was going fine. So I did not prime this hydraulic pump at all, but I was prepared to do that, how it works, so all good. In this whole project, one was a really big help, and I improvised this. If you see these wood pieces, square wood pieces, to let my engine, half part of the engine, sit during my assembly, was these square pieces coming from my staircase tread, which I had it when my house was constructed. So these pieces were perfectly worked for me. What I did is I can actually adjust height in increment of 1¼ inches thickness, so I can go up and down. I can add more, I can remove more, so it worked out perfectly fine. It has enough width, enough strength, and also I improvised a piece of wood 2x4. If you see this, and I don't know why it came in my head, I cut this with the angle. So when I put this angle side this way, what happened is there are some drain plugs underneath right there to avoid these. If I have a 2x4 full width, it would basically press those bolts away, which I didn't want. Other than that, it worked out perfectly well. I'm using 4x4 pieces of lumber to block the tractor from rolling. I do have exhaust pipe sitting on the floor. I need to install this, and I have air filter. This whole thing needs to be installed on the carburetor side, which I don't have it. So once I have these two pieces, everything should be good. I'm going to let it cool down before I install. Other than that, yeah, actually I'm keep saying like this is the only thing, but I am finding more stuff. But I think this should be it. During the last steps, I removed this bolt from this steering column assembly, and I filled with the regular differential oil. It was sitting in my garage with this kind of, this is for differential oil and meant for differential to easy fill. However, I use it to fill. I'm not sure what to do, so until I do the full rebuild of the steering column, I think it should not be dry, because it was giving me shoulder pain when last time I was driving it. So knowing that there are a few things to be completed, I will call this project successful. Appreciate for your feedback, good or bad. I will take both, and you can laugh at me why I rebuilt twice, and I don't have to apologize for my poor English, but I think that's all. Take care. Have a good day.